Good evening. A couple of Sundays ago, Paul delivered a sermon, God Does Not Change. And as Providence would have it, a couple of days later, I was fortunate to read an article by Wayne Langford in The Spiritual Sword. His topic concerns spiritual indifference and how it has impacted the lives of ours and of the church. I'd like to take this opportunity and apply those two topics to the subject of blessings and to one not generally thought of or possibly even considered as one, that being the blessing of correction. In Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 and 14, Jesus tells us, "Enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many are those who enter by it. For the gate is small and the way is narrow that leads to life, and few are those who find it." As with any journey where our destination is not within line of sight, one must consider how we intend to get there. Airmen, sailors, and outdoorsmen face obstacles in navigating a course to arrive at their destination. Weather, currents, waves, wind, and all manner of physical barriers present challenges to arriving where they intend to go. To get there safely, they must rely on continual corrections to stay the course, and any failure to adjust the consequences can result from inconvenience to being lost to disastrous. They never make it. A Christian's walk, our walk, is also a journey. Not always easy. At times, every twist, turn, and pothole of life seems to challenge us, and it becomes all too easy to stray, to fall, or to plain get lost, making our entrance through that narrow gate a difficult task. That indifference to our part, to accepting the Lord's correction, has eternal consequences. Paul in Ephesians 5, verses 15 through 17, admonishes saints to walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. In 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9, Peter tells us, "The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as men count slackness, but is longsuffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, and that all should come to repentance." In Job 5, verse 17, "Behold, happy is the man whom God correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty." In Proverbs 3, verse 12, "For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth." From the beginning, God has provided guidance, instruction, and correction through his holy word to his creation. From the beginning, we have needed it. Our spiritual indifference to our salvation calls for it. He built it into his plan. He's not indifferent to his creation. God does not change. God foreknew and foreordained the plan of salvation for man. He planned before the conditions, terms, goals, and purposes of his whole plan of redemption. But each person is left free to choose, to make his own decision, to whether he will accept or reject God's plan. God desires the salvation of every soul, but the final decision is left to each person. God holds him responsible for the decision. If we can be of any help this evening with you making a correction in your walk, I invite you to come forward now as we stand and sing.